Deciding to keep an ant colony means signing up to manage a live ecosystem. You're bringing thousands of apex predators into your home, and you have to choose which evolutionary strategy you want sitting on your desk. Option 1 is the black garden ant, Lasius niger. This species is the ultimate patient infrastructure builder. Instead of relying on constant combat, this ant places its entire evolutionary bet on extreme longevity and agricultural mutualism. It establishes a home base and slowly farms its way to dominance. Option 2 is the blood red ant, Formica sanguinea. This is a facultative slave maker. It bypasses basic labor entirely. Instead of digging its own massive networks from scratch, it relies on chemical warfare and targeted theft to outsource its workforce to other species. You are looking at a strict dilemma. You can choose a stable, low-risk colony that grows quietly, or you can manage a high-maintenance, volatile, predatory faction. This scorecard breaks down their 3 core survival metrics: nesting, defense, and reproduction. We are going to look at the exact biological trade-offs you are signing up for with each species. Understanding how these ants invest their energy is the only way to determine which species you actually have the time and resources to keep. The black garden ant burns its primary energy on excavation. Workers spend their short lives moving soil grain by grain to construct massive underground tunnel networks. To fuel that excavation, they use a mutualistic strategy. They guard and stroke aphids to extract sugary honeydew instead of hunting unpredictable prey. The result is a highly fortified, self-sufficient food source directly tied to a protected home base. The trade-off here is speed. Because they build everything from the ground up, Lasius niger experiences incredibly slow exponential growth in its early years, and the entire system is highly vulnerable if their soil dries out. The blood red ant takes a different route. It outsources its foundational labor through aggressive raiding. A raid begins with deployment. Scout ants leave the nest to locate weaker Formica colonies nearby. Once a target is found, raiding parties execute a violent invasion. They kill defenders and steal the unhatched larvae and pupae from the nurseries. By hatching those stolen pupae inside their own nest, the blood red ants acquire a mature workforce without spending a single calorie to nurse or rear them. The penalty for this strategy is severe. Raids result in massive worker mortality. If the raids fail, or if the host colonies run out, the blood red ant population stagnates completely. The black garden ant plays a long game of compounding interest. The blood red ant operates like a high-risk venture capital firm, relying entirely on aggressive takeovers. To protect their territory, the black garden ant relies on basic biting and sheer numbers. They lack a stinger, and they do not possess advanced chemical spray capabilities. To survive a localized attack, they need a massive population buffer. They win by absorbing heavy casualties until the attacker is overwhelmed by swarming bodies. The blood red ant uses a completely different weapon system. This diagram shows the dual-action secretion from the Dufour's gland. The ant sprays a hydrocarbon wetting agent over the enemy's armor, followed by formic acid. The hydrocarbons dissolve the epicuticle's fat compounds. With the armor stripped, the acid fatally penetrates the target's tracheal system. Producing these complex chemical cocktails requires a strict protein-rich diet, putting a constant metabolic strain on the colony. The black garden ant's physical defense is metabolically cheap, but scales poorly against larger threats. The blood red ant's chemical defense is highly lethal, but incredibly expensive to reload. The final metric is reproduction. The black garden ant operates on strict monogeny, meaning the colony isolates itself under a single queen. Once a Lasius niger queen finishes her mating flight and sheds her wings, she can live in the dark for up to 29 years. That lifespan provides the colony with decades of highly stable, centralized leadership and uninterrupted egg production. The trade-off is absolute. If that single queen dies in year 2 or year 20, the entire colony collapses. There is zero chance of recovery. The blood red ant uses a decentralized model. They engage in high polyandry, mating with multiple males, and polygyny, housing multiple queens inside a single nest. This ensures massive genetic diversity. More importantly, The colony can easily survive the death of any single queen without slowing down. But housing multiple royalty creates intense internal competition and paternity skew. The colony must gather vastly more resources to sustain several breeding queens at once. The black garden ant puts all its evolutionary eggs in one incredibly durable basket. The blood red ant diversifies its risk, but pays a constant, heavy maintenance fee to do so. This flowchart maps out your actual decision. You have to choose between the compounding, steady investment of the builder or the high-attrition, aggressive takeover of the slave maker. For the beginner or the casual observer, the definitive recommendation is the black garden ant. If you provide basic carbohydrates and maintain soil moisture, you will get a thriving, forgiving colony that practically runs itself. Just know the trade-off. You are trading action for stability. You will not witness advanced predatory, chemical, or raiding behaviors. For the advanced hobbyist or behavioral researcher, the recommendation is the blood red ant. Keeping them requires rigorous inputs. You must actively source host species brood from outside and manage complex feeding schedules, or the colony will stall out and die. Nature doesn't offer a best ant, only the right strategy for a specific environment. You simply have to match your own maintenance expectations to their evolution.